In a world where not all things can be explained, we turn to those with experience and the knowledge to help us. So join us as we explore the paranormal crossings into the unknown.
Welcome to Paranormal Crossings Into the Unknown. I'm your host, Aaron Collins, and my co-host, James Mitchell. How you doing, James?
I'm doing good, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, my friend. Well, we have another exciting week with the podcast. But before we get into our guest, you know what's coming up here really, really soon. And I'm talking like 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
3 months. I mean, time is flying. Just not that long ago, it seemed like we had a year to go, but now we're down to crunch time, and I'm feeling the pressure. And that is the Oregon Ghost Conference. I have to spill it. I have to spit it out because, we're looking for sponsors for the Oregon Ghost Conference. We're looking for vendors. We have stopped the application process for the speakers in classes. So that is done, which is awesome. But we're still looking for vendors, and we're looking for sponsors. So that is very important. So if you're looking to sponsor and you're looking to be a vendor for the Oregon Ghost Conference, which is in the beautiful Seaside, Oregon, then please go to OregonGhostConference.com, and you can get an application and fill it out there. And there's all types of sponsorships. They go, I believe it's from $1,200, which is the top, all the way down to like $50 as a sponsorship. So it's worth it. And not only that, but you can also be a vendor. All you got to do is fill out the application. So, but why don't you tell us a little bit about the Oregon Ghost Conference, since you're a huge part of it as well?
Well, my favorite part is the investigations Friday, Saturday night, bridge tender.
Absolutely.
As you know, I was down in Seaside this last weekend. I met the new owners of the bridge tender.
Which, I got to stop you. Happy birthday. You just celebrated a big one.
It wasn't just a birthday, by the way. It's called an anniversary the next day.
And happy anniversary to you and your lovely, beautiful wife.
Oh, yes. Thank you. But,
absolutely.
So we were down there. When we got down there, we heard that Kitty and Leroy had actually sold the bridge tender. So we met the new owners, and they are really excited for this ghost conference.
Awesome.
So
I had I had a chance to meet them last year, and they actually came on the investigation with my group last year, and they were so excited. And they told me last year that they were looking forward to this year. So I'm excited for them to experience that as new owners. I'm excited for the new groups to come in. I'm excited for us. And our guest today, too, was actually one of the lead investigators as well. So we'll introduce him in a few minutes. But before that, the investigations have always gone well in Seaside. Such rich in history. We're hoping to add, hopefully, another place, but we'll see. We're still working.
Right. Yeah, I remember last year you and I were talking about possibly another place down there to do investigations at. You and I had stopped a couple of police officers and were asking them about places.
Oh, yeah. I'm not shy, man. I will talk to anybody. And so when I stopped those officers, they kind of looked at me funny, but, who better to ask? I mean, they're everywhere, and they're everywhere at night, and so, and it was at night when we asked too. So, they definitely have a jump on certain places that may be haunted. So why not ask? You never know until you ask. So
doesn't hurt. That's for sure.
Absolutely. So, we've had such great turnouts. Each year keeps getting bigger, and each year keeps getting better. And I'm really looking forward to this year. I know it's going to be bigger than last year. And Rocky Smith is so amazing. I mean, this man has really poured his heart and soul into the Oregon Ghost Conference. And just to see his eyes when it's actually done, because he works tirelessly. You know, not only is he the founder and director of the Oregon Ghost Conference, but he is also a school teacher, full-time high school art teacher, which has got to be difficult. But he's also a councilman now in Oregon City. So,
that's right.
You know, could he add any more to his plate? Oh, and
he does the walking tours, and he's got his own shop down there in Oregon City.
Absolutely, yes, he has his own shop that he opened up in Oregon City. So the guy, I don't think he sleeps. I think he's a vampire. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to sleep. But he is an amazing human being, and you know, he loves everybody. And he has, like I said, he's put his heart and soul into this. So, anyways,
you know, he can't do it all unless he's got people like you, Kristen, and Holly to help him. So, kudos to all of you.
Well, thank you. We're his elves. So, you know, we do what we can to help him out. And, you know, Jeff Davis is also part of the planning committee. My wife, Christina, is also part of the planning committee. And so I know Kristen, oh my gosh, Kristen Gray does so much for him. And, you know, she works full time and she does a million other things. She has a million other things to do too. So everybody's just busy and puts their heart and soul. We all do. We have passion for what we do. We have passion for him and the Oregon Ghost Conference. And you know, it's such a great place for everyone in the paranormal community to get together and talk to others, the public. And the thing that I love is, of course, the investigations, but I love teaching the kids. And that's what I've done since I started with the Ghost Conference with Rocky many, many years ago. So every year, that's what I've done. And last year, it was great. It actually made the newspaper. It made the news on Channel 12. It was great. And so just spreading the word. And you know, it's just a great place to be. So if you're looking for fun, I mean, who doesn't want to go to the beach? And it's fun for the entire family. It's not just for adults, it's for the entire family. So it's, go to OregonGhostConference.com and you'll find all the information that you need for the Oregon Ghost Conference. So, all right. So please welcome our guest for this week, good friend of mine and great investigator, Darrin Scholl. Darrin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Well, thank you, sir. It's an honor to have you on. And please tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you've been up to and a little bit about maybe some of the investigations. We'll get into some of the investigations you're doing, but tell us a little bit more about yourself first.
Well, basically, I've been doing investigations since 1995.
Wow.
This is kind of our third group we've had going. The other ones kind of fell apart with manpower. Kind of grew up with the paranormal, so it's never been a taboo subject or anything different.
So with I can obviously relate with how the teams dismantle and then you build them back up and people leave, for various reasons and things. So I can understand that. So you've been doing this for quite some time. So what got you started in the first place?
Basically just growing up, knowing about the paranormal and kind of seeing things from a different light. Then I kind of ran into some people that were writing books about it, teaching classes, and they kind of directed me towards on how to go about doing an actual investigation.
Now, did you have any experiences growing up or anything traumatic that would, get you into this?
Well, I've always had a lady in white that's followed me around from house to house. Kind of everybody's seen her. Had a roommate of mine that was a strict non-believer. I was at work one night and she made her presence very well known. And when I came home the next morning, he was like, hey, did you come home at 3 o'clock in the morning and make yourself a sandwich? And I'm like, no, man, I've been at work. He's like, well, somebody came out of your room, walked in the kitchen, opened up the refrigerator, cupboard doors, moved plates, and went back in your room.
Wow.
I don't know what to tell you.
Now, did he actually see her, or see somebody, or maybe a shadow or something?
He saw the cupboard doors actually open and the
Oh,
refrigerator door open from his place on the couch. Yeah, he witnessed doors opening and closing and thought it was me.
wow. Now, this particular entity has followed you, you said, from house to house?
Yeah, it's my parents would talk about it all the time that there was a lot of activity at the house. And the minute I moved out, the activity at their house had ceased. Then there was living with my roommates, and then there was living here.
Now,
So,
go ahead.
so this entity is still with you then?
Yeah, it still follows me around. We're not exactly sure who it is. I've seen her on a couple of occasions. She just doesn't like to respond to the spirit box.
Uh, Now, you recently had a knee surgery, and which has kind of laid you up at home quite a bit. So, why don't you talk about some of the things that have happened since you've been home more rather than at work?
Basically, I've kind of witnessed her a little bit more than normal. Like I'll go into the kitchen and kind of see her out of the corner of my eye. Plus, I've also seen our resident shadow person kind of wandering around a little bit, making his presence known.
Now, okay, now is this different than the lady?
Yeah, it's a guy whose name is Walter, is what the spirit boxer gave us one night.
Really? So
And
you're doing the investigations at home? I mean, with the spirit box and stuff?
I'm doing some investigations here at the house, but most of them are kind of on the outside. This was just kind of a weird things were happening. I was witnessing things, and I just grabbed the spirit box and did a quick session to figure out what exactly was going on.
Right. Now, let me just point out for listeners that may be listening, Darrin is a seasoned and experienced investigator, so I don't recommend that someone who doesn't know what they're doing to investigate in their own home, because you don't know what's in your house, and it could escalate, and it could be something that may be negative, and people can get harmed. So Darrin knows what he's doing, so there's no question with him doing this type of investigation at home. So I just had to throw that out there real quick.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah. So So let me ask you, backing up, what prompted you to start your own group? Like, what brought you to today with your own group, and how long is this group? What does D.B.K stand for?
Um, D.B.K actually stands for, it's a short version of D.B.K.
Okay. Like Dybbuk box, or?
Yeah, like the D.B.K. Basically, a spirit that just is very persistent, doesn't stop. That's kind of our mentality is helping people. Is we're not going to stop until we've come to some sort of solution for a person or a family in need.
Okay. And which I love that. Why don't you describe your teammates and what their roles are and how you attack? Attack is not the right word. How you go in and do an investigation.
Well, most of my team are really they're really new, so we're kind of figuring out where everybody fits into what roles. Um, so a lot of times we go in. I've got a lady who's just joined the team who's starting to understand how much of a sensitive she is to the situation and the case.
Are you okay to give names, or do you prefer not?
Yeah, I could give names.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Nicole. She's, like I said, she's just figuring out that she's a sensitive.
Okay.
I back in October I did a investigation, kind of like they do at the Oregon Ghost Convention,
Mm-hmm.
and she had actually joined up, paid money, joined up with the investigation to see what it was all about. And afterwards, she was kind of giving me some feedback on things that I would discover later, and we just kind of integrated her into the group.
Nice.
Then we've got Bill, who's kind of our skeptic. He kind of keeps us grounded a little bit. You know, he doesn't just rush off and, oh, that's a ghost, that's a ghost, that's a ghost. He's more break it down. Okay, there's a cold draft. What's going on? Is it a leaky window? Pipes are rattling. Okay, well, why are the pipes rattling? He's more of the... Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, now I know Bill. I love Bill. I love skeptics, and Bill's a great guy personally, but I love Bill. And skeptics are great to have on a team, which we do have skeptics on our team as well. So and I loved working with him at the Ghost Conference. You know, I loved watching you guys work together, and you guys work so well together. It's awesome. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to throw that in.
No worries. Yeah, like I said, we keep Bill around so we don't just run off and start claiming everything's orbs and everything's a ghost. And
right.
He does kind of look at that more of as a scientific principle of, all right, there's rattling pipes. Why are the pipes rattling? You know, he's not the first guy to run off and, you know, oh, there's a door closed. It's a ghost. No, he'll center us down a little bit, you know, guide us into a more logical explanation. And if we can't replicate it or anything else, then we can kind of go off in a different direction.
Awesome. And then who else is on your team?
We've got Kayla. She's kind of our, I guess, tech person.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to keep us, you know, make sure all the batteries are fresh, and we don't make any rookie mistakes that way.
Yeah, she's awesome. Well, I think that you've got a great team, and I really like the way you investigate, and that's one of the things that really drew me to you in the first place. And not just that. I mean, there's other factors as well. But you had mentioned something about City Hall, but you didn't mention where the City Hall is. Can you mention that? Is that okay or no? Or would you keep that quiet?
It's the St. Helens City Hall.
Okay.
Here in St. Helens, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
We've done 2 investigations out there, and the upstairs portion used to be a doctor's office and a mortician's office.
Oh, wow.
And then the downstairs used to be the city bank.
Mm.
So we've had voices telling Bill where he can go.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. We very clear, concise. Bill was kind of talking about how he's a skeptic. He doesn't believe. And the spirit box was just like, it came across with think, like, you know, come on, think about it. And then it basically told him where he could go.
Oh, all right then.
And language that pretty much can't be broadcasted back out.
Right. No, I can understand that. That's happened.
And upstairs, we've got a little girl who likes to laugh at us and play games.
Really?
Yep.
See, I always find that fascinating, doing an investigation where there's children spirit involved. We've had that at the Oregon Ghost Conference with the bridge tender, and actually, it's the Seaside Bath and Salt place, which is 2 doors down. And you know, James, and you both didn't you both have experiences with that on your investigations?
Yeah, we had a little boy asking for a football.
Yeah, that's insane. That is just crazy. What about you, James? What with your investigation?
We had a little boy and girl upstairs. I think it was like some Christmas stickers. It was like they were playing hide and seek.
Right.
They were felt that way to me.
Right. we also, with my group, also had some children activity as well. And with the history, there was a huge fire in Seaside, and I can't say for sure that children had perished during that fire, but that was our assumption. And now this building is actually connected to the bridge tender, but it's a few doors down. But the building right next to it, we used to investigate there, and we had a lot of children's spirit activity there. And there was actually a school desk from, I don't know how far it dates back to, but oh my gosh, where that school desk is, that was like a trigger object for these children, and upstairs in this location. And it just fascinates me. And just like, and as well, James and Darrin, you both know, at the Klondike, investigating the Klondike, James, your daughter, actually, she's like a beacon for children's spirits.
Absolutely.
And she's actually on our team, NW Paranormal Investigative Team. And but not right now, because right now she's with child. So congratulations to her and her husband. So she's taking a little break, but from investigating. But kids are drawn to her, and she had a handprint or a child's hand touch her on the leg. But this has happened before with you guys elsewhere, you and your wife, and her elsewhere. So, anyways, but children's spirit, it just fascinates me, and it makes me sad at the same time. You can't be human and not feel sad for these children. So what, in your mind, thinking back to all the investigations, Darrin, that you've done, what is the most fascinating, the most compelling investigation that you've done, where you've just gotten crazy evidence and just thought, oh my gosh?
Well, it was actually the one investigation I did not have my gear with. I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed I always have a backpack with all my stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
This was back in 2000. I was at a karaoke bar, just chilling, hanging out. Somebody said that he was in charge of restoring a Vietnam-era landing craft.
Mm-hmm.
3 o'clock in the morning, he asked me if I wanted to go out to it. I'm like, yeah, of course. You want to put me on the Navy vessel all to myself? Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got full reign. Yeah, I'm in. So we leave the bar. We get down there. I don't drink when I'm singing. It's just not my thing. We get down to the boat, and we got to walk down a little dock. I look up, and there's 3 men standing up on the bow. And I happen to ask him, hey, who else is on here? And he's like, it's just me. We went into the ship. We walked all over the place. I'm asking him questions. I'm seeing full-bodied apparitions walking past doors. I'm like, okay, what was in there? He's like, oh, that's the officer. I'm like, okay, well, it was a figure in white and then like an officer's Navy uniform. Afterwards, did a little bit of research and found out that one of the officers on board had actually been killed when I think it was a Japanese fishing vessel ran into the boat.
That's of course, when you don't have any equipment with you, things like that happen.
Yeah, it taught me a big lesson. Always keep my gear handy because you never know what's going to happen.
Right, but that used to happen to me all the time when I did the tours for the Shanghai tunnels. I started to carry equipment with me when I could. It was difficult when I was doing tours, unless we were doing paranormal tours. But stuff happened to me all the time, and especially when I was setting up. Before tours, things happened. And there were times where I'd get there super early just to do a mini investigation, which they encouraged me to do, And so, I got lots of EVPs and things like that. But a lot of times things happen. Of course, I didn't have anything with me, and they're just stories, And so, no, I can relate. But yeah, that's crazy. That's incredible. How did you feel? I mean, were you just blown away?
I was kind of it was one of those things. I had full access to the boat anytime I wanted, but I never got anything like I saw that one night.
Wow. And this was in 2000?
Yeah, this was 2000.
Wow. That's incredible, though.
Yeah, the boat's actually moored outside of Rainier, and the Coast Guard has it. And I've been trying to talk to the owners for years to try to get me back on the boat, because I'm like, all right, I've got more equipment, I got better stuff, I've got cameras, let me at it. But the Coast Guard has actually deemed it unfit to be on board.
Well, that's too bad. I mean, really. So is there any place that you would just love to investigate? If you could think of one place that's reachable and obtainable to you that you would love to investigate that you haven't yet?
Oh, well, let me see. It would either be the Stanley or the Queen Mary.
Oh, well, James, now it's your turn.
My turn. Oh, geez. Stanley is a great place to get an investigation going. Being there 4 or 5 times. And actually, if I wouldn't have gone to Seaside, I was told we were going to be going to Stanley if they would have had reservations available. But I recommend the 4th floor. It's really the most haunted floor there. And they do, of course, have their little haunted tours, which are nice.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we're
in that bedroom or in your room.
Okay, well, we'll go through this again.
Yeah, I know we did this last week, but still, we got to hear this again.
Absolutely. Yeah. So our first time there, we obviously reserved a room on the 4th floor, and so we got up to our room, put everything in our room except for our cameras. We went out in the hallways on every floor. We were taking pictures. We went outside, took pictures. Came back up to our room to get some other things, and our room key wouldn't work. Tried it several times, still wouldn't open the door. So we went down, said, hey, the room keys aren't working, and they asked us, okay, what floor we're on. Said, the 4th floor. And they said it happens from time to time that the room keys don't work. You have to knock and ask permission to enter, and then they'll let you in. So it's the desk. They gave us new keys to the room. They even had a security guard go up there, and he tried the room key. Door didn't open, and he knocked on the door, asked for permission to enter, tried the door key again, and the door opened. And my wife and I are like, are you kidding? If this is what's going to be like the first night, imagine what the whole week is going to be like. And so we went in and got some, because I did bring a small amount of equipment with me. So I went and grabbed that, went out. We were doing some other things around the hotel. And then later that evening when we went to bed, I think it was around midnight or so, there's claims of children running up and down the corridor, playing with the ball or bouncing a ball. About midnight, I actually heard children running up and down the hallway. I got up, opened up the door. There was nobody in the hallway. And then the elevator door opened. The security guy's there asking if everything's all right. And I'm like, well, I thought I heard children running up and down, the corridor, not positive on the ball, but I know I heard children. And he's like, well, that is some of the reported activity up here. So again, that was just all on the first night.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's definitely, and I've been there 4 or 5 times now, and nothing beats that first visit. Not quite yet, anyway.
Well, and you've got to, one of these days, we're going to get together with Darrin, and you've got to share the photos that you have too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those photos.
Yeah.
I was taking a look at the Stanley. I think that picture I showed you with those people on the other side of the window and whatnot. I think that was the second floor. And by looking at a picture of the Stanley, there is a balcony on the outside.
Okay.
But at night, obviously there was no one there, and it was in winter time, so definitely no one would be on the outside.
Definitely. So Darrin, you said that. Okay, Darrin, you said the Stanley, and what was the other one?
The Queen Mary.
Queen Mary. All right, so we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we are still with our guest, Darrin, and we will be discussing more about the paranormal and some great investigations and some investigative hotspots. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Paranormal Crossings Into the Unknown podcast. We're here with our special guest, Darrin Scholl from D.B.K. Investigations in St. Helens, Oregon, and Scappoose area. So we were talking about top place that's obtainable that you would like to investigate, and you mentioned 2. One was the Stanley Hotel, and James had mentioned that he's been there, or bragging 4 or 5 times.
you keep thinking I'm bragging.
And so Darrin, you said the other place would be the Queen Mary, and I agree with you on both. I have never been to either one, and would love to go to both. And so those are both definitely on my list. And Queen Mary, oh my goodness, our great friend of mine, Nicole Strickland, who is going to be our guest for next week. She is like the #1 leading authority on the Queen Mary, has written several books on the Queen Mary. So I would love to go and visit the Queen Mary and see what she's all about. I mean, she's a beautiful ship and lots of history and lots of spirits. So maybe we all need to plan a trip and go down there sometime and have Nicole lead us on and do an investigation. That would be incredible.
Absolutely, it would be.
Yeah, definitely. So, Darrin,
you
said the possibility of doing a third investigation, at the City Hall in St. Helens. Did they call you the first time? Were they having issues and said, hey, can you come out and check this out? Or did you contact them and say, hey, we want to come out?
Well, they kind of contacted me. My sister-in-law works there.
Oh, okay.
So she can kind of get us full access to it. So, nice. She knew that what I do and contacted me and said, hey, if you guys want to check out the hall, we got some weird things going on. But she was a skeptic at the moment.
Right.
So, it's pretty much over now. They trust us.
Good deal. Now, you said was a skeptic. Did she join you on the investigations?
Oh yeah. She's been there for every single one. Her and my brother. My brother's kind of joining us now.
Good deal. Now, is she longer a skeptic?
When she heard the little girl's voice, kind of laughing a little bit. City Hall here in St. Helens, they bring in a cat at the week. It's kind of like their unofficial mascot. Basically, one of the workers brings her cat in. The cat just kind of wanders around it. so we were using the cat's name as kind of a trigger object, and we were upstairs where we were getting the most hits, and we found that mothers seem to have a better chance of talking to the spirit. So mothers, yeah.
Okay.
Motherly type figures.
Right. Okay.
So we did an EVP session, and I let my sister-in-law just talk. I said, "Here, just go ahead, ask a few questions, give it a little space in between, see what happens." And she asked if the little girl liked Ziggy the kitty. And I played it back, and you hear, plain as day.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I got it on video somewhere where my sister-in-law is actually kind of in shock a little bit. She that's here. That's an EVP. That's all right. It's okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
You know, I love EVPs. I love doing EVPs. And my oldest son, who's now 26, when he was 18, he wanted to go on an investigation with me. Speaking of St. Helens, it was in St. Helens at a private residence. They had asked that we come out and do an investigation, and we did it. We did some EVPs up in an upstairs bedroom in this. It's an older house, and when my son and I were at home, I was going through evidence and reviewing the audio, and all of a sudden I hear his name and through the EVP, and it was kind of whispered, so it sounded like his name is Zach. Well, Zachary, but we've always called him Zach. So I hear Zach, and I knew it wasn't me. It wasn't him, obviously. It was just two of us in this room. And I kept playing it back, and I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me." Well, he was sitting on the couch watching TV or something. I had a headset on, and I said, "Zach, you've got to listen to this." So he put on the headphones and listened to it, and he burst out crying. Because, to hear your name being called out like that, which, for me, it happens a lot, doing investigations. I'll hear my name, called out through a spirit box or through EVPs, things like that. But for him, that was the first time ever. That was the first time he's ever been on an investigation. And so for him to hear his name like that, he just burst out crying. I mean, he didn't know what to think. So what was your sister-in-law's reaction? I mean, was she emotionally just distraught? I mean, what was her reaction?
She was a little scared by it. Like I said, she was a skeptic, and just to hear, a little girl.
Yeah.
It kind of shook her, and my brother just stood up, and my brother has never been a believer in ghosts and the paranormal, and he just shot out of his seat. I think he paced around a couple times, came back, and he's like, okay, you got me.
Wow. That's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
that was one EVP that even Bill couldn't deny.
Oh, of course. Of course. Well, so what do you have planned in the future for your team? What are you looking at doing, building, things like that?
Well, we've got third time at City Hall. We're trying to work out the dates with City Hall when we can actually get in. Still trying to get into the Klondike. It's just kind of an uphill battle. But I've got people that are trying to get us in.
Now, why did they close? Do you know? Was it the restaurant closed? But are they planning on turning it into something else, or what are they going to do with that building? Do you know?
All I know right now is the current owner of the building was asking for more rent, and now he's just trying to sell the building, and the restaurant had to close down because they couldn't cover the rent prices.
Interestingly enough, I actually, when I was still doing the Shanghai tunnel tours, the owner and his wife, they actually went on one of my tours.
Huh.
That owned the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite a while back. Sometime last year. Yeah, but God, that's such a great building, and lots of spirits in that place. So if you could get in, that would be incredible. I mean, we've done it before, obviously, for the fundraiser that I had, but it's different when you have that amount of people. We had what, 50 people maybe total?
Yeah.
That's hard. That wasn't really a true investigation, but it would be great to get back in there and do it on a smaller scale, because that's a great building, great history, and it would be great to get back in there. So if you can get in there, that'd be great.
Oh, I'm trying. My brother used to work there. He actually quit because he saw something downstairs.
Really?
Yeah, we've been talking
basement?
about it, and down in the basement, in the laundry room.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's a hot spot down there.
Yeah,
James.
my brother actually gave me a little bit more information that it's kind of a rumor, but he says that the room that's just off the laundry room and way towards the back, the rumor is that was an abortion room.
Oh.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, I can't verify that.
Sure.
And I know that he's been wanting to get back into the Klondike since he quit.
Really?
Yeah, he wants to know what was down there. So.
Well, we had a great with us when we did the spirit box session down there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that was incredible. That was a lot of intelligent responses with that, and that was, man, I would love to get back in there and do a true, and now that it's empty and no one there. Oh, can you imagine? Yeah. Seriously, that's what, 4 stories? No, that's 4 or 5 stories, isn't it?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4 stories.
Oh, that's just making me excited now. Anyway, but that's a great location. Wow. So your brother actually quit because he saw something down there?
That's what he says, but I know he also quit to do another job. But my brother's also not going to come right up and just say, "Yeah, I saw this and I quit." But,
right.
He's going to tell me a little bit more.
Right. Interesting. So, okay, so you're trying to get back into the city hall. You want to get into the Klondike, and then as far as your team, you said that your team is fairly new. So it sounds like you have a pretty well-rounded team. So you are planning on being at the Oregon Ghost Conference, correct?
Oh yeah, we are planning on that every single year.
Okay, good. And so what else do you have planned for your team that comes? Well, let's talk about the Blacklight. Let's talk about your YouTube show.
Okay. Basically, our YouTube channel, we've been floating around with formats. We're kind of sticking with paranormal now, and it's just kind of a way we can document our stuff, our investigations, and showcase it to the world, and kind of let them decide. We don't have a whole lot of flash and flare. It's just kind of an everyday, basic format. Just no fancy titles, no voiceovers, no recreations. In your face investigations.
It's raw, and that's what I like about it. And
yeah,
you're funny. Like the first couple of episodes, you even mentioned me, which was funny. And I like the fact you guys are sporting my team T-shirts a couple of times, which was awesome. I appreciate that, of course. But no, I like the direction that you're going, and that's the way it should be. Why do we have to do recreations all the time? Why do we have to have voiceovers all the time? Why do we have to have, theatrics and all this other stuff? Tell it like it is, brother. I mean, show your evidence, or you're right there on the spot. And I like that. I like what you're doing. And that's why, I told you before, keep doing what you're doing. Just do it. Keep doing it. You'll see.
Yeah.
And through YouTube, what I like is when I first started Paranormal Crossings on television, it was local Portland metro area. And then we started pumping it out through YouTube. And the great thing about that is that then you get to see the analytics. And all of a sudden, I started seeing that people in other countries are watching. And have you gone through that and looked to see who else is watching?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've like I said, our format's kind of changed over the last couple of years. I mean, we used to do cigar reviews, food reviews, travel reviews, but none of that's really kind of our passion.
Right.
So we're kind of going to where we feel most passionate about things.
There you go. I like that, but it's cool to see who's watching in what country. And I mean, I've seen as far as for Paranormal Crossings, Africa, and I thought, are you kidding me? People in Africa are watching Paranormal Crossings. Greece, Brazil. I mean, Ireland. It's just crazy. It just blows my mind. So I just, again, I love what you're doing, and I love you guys. You guys, you're real people. You're and you don't fake it, and that's what I like. And you're the kind of people that I enjoy associating with, and I know James is the same. Am I correct?
No, you're absolutely correct. And like I said before, it's not just acquaintances for me. You get to know people like everyone in this field is more like a family.
Exactly.
Yeah. It should be. We're when I first started, the team I started with, they feuded with Taps all the time, just team wars galore, and it's like we can all work together because we're all doing it for the same reasons.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and this is something that I saw in you as far as being real, and this is why I asked you to be a part of the, help lead investigations at the Oregon Ghost Conference, because, I knew you were it, and I proved to myself. I mean, obviously, you did such a great job, and so, this is the kind of people that we need in this field. We need more people like you that are real and aren't going to fake stuff and do it and put other teams down and all this other stuff and talk smack. I never see that from you. And, I don't do it. I never have. I don't put anything out on Facebook or anything else talking smack about other people. I just don't do it, and I don't expect other people to do that, but it happens, and so the paranormal field is it's a strange community at times. There's a select few that I consider close, to me, and that I hold close to me, and then others are acquaintances, and then there's others that I don't want anything to do with, that are in this field, because all they do is talk smack about other people. They're unethical. And then, don't even get me started about teams that charge people money for coming out and doing investigations. That's a whole nother ball game. To me, that's
so many shades are wrong.
Yeah.
You're helping people. You're not out to make a buck.
Right. We're not doctors. We're not lawyers. How can you charge somebody money? We can't prove ghosts or spirits. We can't prove the stuff that we're doing. We can do our best to provide evidence. We can do our best to prove or disprove. I try to prove logically. Okay, let's go through the list of, when we go to do an investigation. Is it this, and we've gone through everything logically. Now, okay, so we can't prove it that it's these things. So now we can look at the paranormal side. After we've gone through a series of everything, well, is it the wind? Is it is it high EMFs from the old wiring or whatever in the house? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't just jump to the conclusion that it's haunted the second you walk in a house or an establishment or something. You know, and that comes as a seasoned investigator. I've been doing it since the 90s as well. So there's people out there, unfortunately, that charge money. And oh yes, it's haunted, and and for $29.95, oh, whatever, that's ridiculous. Are you kidding? I'm not going to charge people money. That's just not right. It's unethical. It's not right. So the point to the Oregon Ghost Conference and all of us, that good people that are in this field are to help people. And along with that, if I can't help you, then I will find someone, another group or another person in the field that's credible that can help you. Bottom line, I don't know everything, and I'll be the first one to tell you. I don't know everything. I don't have the answer to every question, to every problem, to every situation. And if we as a group can't find the solution or the answer, then we will find someone else that can. It's that simple, So why, people are looking for fame a lot of times. People are looking for pats on the back. Well, look what I did, and I'm not going to reach out to other people. Why? Why not? So, all right, I'll get off my soapbox. So,
see, we've recently had another group start up out here in Columbia County, and I actually reached out to them and I said, "Hey, welcome to the community. If you need any assistance, please feel free to get a hold of me or my team.
That's great.
And if you have any questions, let us know. Because, like you said, if I don't know everything,
right?
And if they run into a situation on an investigation and they're like, yeah, we've got a demon, we don't know what to do, they can get a hold of me and go, what do we do? You know what? I don't know the answer to that one, but I do know somebody who does.
Right. And that's what it's about. It's helping each other. Doctors do it. They consult with other doctors or consult with other doctors and other professionals in the field. So why shouldn't we?
Exactly.
We don't know it all. So, but we're a lot of times some of the teams are so about themselves that they won't reach out to other people, and it's not right. And I can't stand that teams will go out there just to do an investigation and leave the people hanging where they don't even help them. They go and gather evidence and that's it. What's the point? What's the point in gathering evidence for themselves? Give the homeowners or the people who are living there or establishment or wherever evidence and then say, okay, well, thank you, bye. And then leave them hanging knowing that there's something there. Well, how did you help them? All you did was establish that, okay, there's something scary here.
Yeah.
So now what? So that's why we help. We have team members who have abilities to help. And if we can't, then we'll find somebody that can. I've had other groups, and I'll name a group, White Light Paranormal Insight. They're one of my favorites. Seth, Michael, Kristen Gray. I mean, their whole group, let me tell you, they're amazing people. And I will contact them any day of the week if I need their help. And if I can't do it, if our group can't handle, a certain situation, I'll contact them. And if they can't do it, they'll find another credible group that can. And we've done it. They have actually passed things on to us. So, and they're not the only group. There's other groups. I'm just saying one particular group, but there's many wonderful groups out there in this area. So it's all about helping each other to help the public, to make people feel more comfortable, because there are people that are traumatized and being tormented every day. So why not help?
Yeah.
We don't need the glory. I don't need the glory. I don't do the podcast for glory. I don't do the TV show for glory. I don't do the Oregon Ghost Conference for glory. I do this stuff because I want to help people. I want Darrin on the show because he can talk about his experience to maybe help a person that is interested in becoming an investigator, or maybe somebody's listening who needs help and they know, okay, I can contact Darrin and D.B.K. Investigations, because they have experience, they know what they're doing. So this is why I do this. The TV show, the same thing, because the public can contact my guests for help, or they can contact my team, and we can get them help. This is why we do this. The Oregon Ghost Conference, I teach kids, and along with Rocky, and we have speakers and classes to help people, to better educate people. It's awareness. That's what it's for. That's the whole purpose, not for glory. Good Lord, if I was doing this for glory, man, then I wouldn't be doing this. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just a humble person, and I'm just, I feel honored and lucky enough to have this aspect in my life to be able to speak out and to have wonderful guests like you, Darrin, and an amazing co-host like James, and great producer like Joel, to actually get this out so that people can listen. And I welcome the feedback. If there's something that the public would like to hear, or a guest that they would like to have on, or have me have on, or have us have on, then feel free, write in and let us know who else you would like us to have on, or give us some ideas. We're totally open to that. So how can the public get a hold of Darrin Scholl and D.B.K. Investigations? And we will put that in, by the way, with the advertisement for the show too. But go ahead and tell them how people can get a hold of you.
Okay, yeah, we're on Facebook with facebook.com/DBK Investigations.
Awesome. And through that, on Facebook, they can send you a message. They can get your phone number through there and email. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. All right. So do you have anything else, James, you'd like to ask Mr. Scholl?
Well, no, because you just ran through the whole questionnaire of questions while you were stopping off there. So you pretty much covered it, my friend.
Well, I apologize, my friend. Having done these shows for so long, it just naturally comes out. So what I need to do is just let you do a show on your own one of these days, James.
No, my friend, that's going to cost you.
All right. Well, now that's being recorded. So.
I know. Yeah. It's all good, my friend.
All right. Well, I do have to mention one thing, that Darrin is getting married this year, and so I'm very excited. So I wanted to congratulate you on that. And so I wish you all the best, and wonderful new beginning for your life. And so I'm very excited for you guys, and I'm excited for your team and the growth of your team. And if you ever need anything, you can always call me, and I'm always there for you, and James too. And so, and our whole team. So I'm so happy that you agreed to be on the show, and you've been amazing, and you're just a great guy all the way around, and a great investigator. So I look forward to investigating with you hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully real soon. And thank you for all the kind words.
All right, my friend. All right, James. Well, this is our time to say la vie, and thank you again for listening in to Paranormal Crossings Into the Unknown, and we will have you listen to us again next week. So thank you again. You all have a wonderful week. This is Aaron Collins and James Mitchell. Talk to you soon.
Good evening.